Today is November 9th, and Town of Southington Board of Finance meeting, and we'll stand for the pledge. Okay, the roll call, please.
It's good fun. I'm here.
Mr. Morrison. Tony.
Here.
Okay, Mr. Polk.
Here.
Mr. Laviniak.
Here.
Mr. Leary.
Here. Mr. Morrison is not. So just make a note of that. He called me, said he was going to be absent. So we do not have a Mr. Morrison, but we do have a quorum. So public hearing items, we have none. Now we'll move into old business. And one thing before we do move into, I just want everyone to pull their microphones in and use them because we have had some complaints and we know we have Sue on the phone and microphones won't help with that, but be cognizant of that also. Sometimes the room doesn't have an audience and we get lax with the microphones. Thank you. And we'll go into the approval of our minutes from our previous meeting, our October 12th meeting. Do we have a motion on that?
So move. Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, everybody, so I'd say 5-0, the minutes are approved, and now the minutes of the October 12th meeting are official. Review revenue versus expenses revenues versus budget and expenses versus budget. If you would, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That was an item in your packet, of course. And that's just a look of things as of some items through October 31st. And I put a little notification there if things were not yet complete. So that was through September 30th for a couple of the items. Only because with only 4 business days between the end of October and last Friday, to try to get the agenda out for you guys to have the packet over the weekend to review, we did not yet get something in from a couple departments. A couple did come in earlier this week, and frankly, I just have not had a chance to update those last two. The interest income and the town clerk's income. Town clerk might have been a little busy. I don't know, but they pretty sure that's in now. Be happy to take any questions.
So revenue, 761 over,
That's correct.
which is positive, right? 761,000 more than what was budgeted. So I always like to hope we budget conservatively, and if we come in higher, that's wonderful, rather than to budget not conservatively and to miss it, because that could really mess us up. So guidance going forward. But yeah, it looks like 200,000 prior year taxes, 160,000 interest on taxes, 80,000 building permits and fees, 80,000 over on interest income and investments, and town clerk fees, 170,000 over, and then the Kerma equity, 71,000 over. So,
And that won't change that last item, but I'm leaving it on there because it's a significant, variance.
yep. Okay.
The next item is the expenses, anything that you might, at this early point in time, just show just a small red flag here or there, or just items I say that we are pretty much used to keeping our eyes on. So I don't think there's anything that's really surprising in that aspect to you folks. You guys have been. And below that, there's just a little summary of where the contingency line item stands. And there's an item on our agenda tonight for the $4,000. But it's in pretty good shape, obviously, through the end of.
Which one's the contingency? This 596?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So let me just understand this. Police overtime took out 195 of that. We knew that, right? Because that was contingency we built in.
This is,
No, wait,
no. This is
That's-
internal in their budget. They're currently 48% of 33% of the year.
Oh,
So during
gotcha,
the year,
gotcha.
during the year, they'll do transfers, internal transfer that. Contingency line is a $600,000 freestanding
Gotcha.
contingency line on it. We're going to use 4,000 of that tonight.
So that top line is just a pace
Exactly.
as to where they are. I got you. So
Exactly,
we
yep.
started with 600,000. We used 4,000 tonight.
Yep.
We have 596 preserved.
Correct.
Okay,
And
I got it.
As that last column states, if the weekly average continues, the shortfall would approximate those amounts in the columns. It's hard to say. I
Yeah,
mean,
Yeah,
that's just
timing,
that's
it's
a big
circumstantial.
estimate, and you got
They-
a whole half year.
they can't
remember-
predict it.
And I know I said this at the last meeting. Remember, you've already gone through the summer. So a lot of times when you're talking about police and fire, all the vacations are during the summertime. A lot of it, that's where you're going to see that.
The coverage of the
Exactly.
vacations.
Remember, police and fire have to be replaced, and that's a time and a half.
But just to note, though, the overtimes are not an issue based on the averages you're
No,
showing right now.
No,
We're in a good place.
we're similar to where we are in most years.
But I just think, I just wanted to let you.
No, that's a good way to do it.
But you folks are familiar with this.
Yeah.
You're experienced men on.
Yeah, I like the way you did it,
Men
though.
and
You
women on the board, and,
I like the way you laid it out, though. You just kind of showed us where we are in the year versus what we have and what could possibly be remaining, but
Correct.
it doesn't mean it's just a ballpark. Heads up. No, and I got it. The contingency is right under it. I missed it too. Okay.
So those nice revenues you saw on the page before, they'll offset some of those.
If
No,
we
they're
have them.
going to transfer internal. We don't have to offset those.
Yeah, right.
Those will be internal transfers during the year.
Okay. Carry on. Let me go back to the agenda. And we'll get into, thank you for those two things. Capital projects, I saw your note that you're getting there, but not prepared at this moment, right?
That's correct. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll get into the sewer committee. Mr. Morrison's not here, but is there anything noteworthy from sewer?
No, their meeting is, I think, tomorrow.
Public Works, Mrs. Zoni, Mr. Pocock?
Yeah, I cover, Mr. Zoni does a great job. Big thing is the snow bids, they got several, bids on it. The only thing. Middle seemed to went up $10.
Is that fuel and labor, or is it a combination?
That's
Both.
both. Look, she covered that very. Financial safety improvements, DOT, should be coming up, right, Mark?
Yeah, we're supposed to get the final approvals, hopefully by the CROG and DOT, and hopefully go out to bid, and all goes well, late spring, early summer, we might do.
And pretty much, and then we have the boiler in this building here. We're gonna have to do.
That's at the municipal center. Yeah, if some of you remember, when we purchased the municipal center, there was a boiler room which was discontinued because we went with a different heating system and cooling system. So we allocated money at last year's budget reallocation money that we're going to abate and remove the boilers from there and eventually use it for office space or storage space.
They're just sitting in there abandoned?
Yep.
That's about it. And if anybody wants to know, as far as the leaves go, it's well posted on the Sunnyton, right along. I like them. Only thing is for the highway department, you really need to pay attention what's in the leaves, because we don't want rocks, or I don't want to give any.
So, Ed, how about, like, a lot of people, that's not an issue, or is that an issue? I see
We
that.
don't, we tell people that please just put leaves in there. Grass cuttings, that could be done, use it
No
for mulch
sticks,
shelters.
no grass,
no
and
grass.
no rocks.
Right. You'd be shocked what some people put.
No, I see.
But yeah, it does, obviously if we could see them, we were able to avoid it, but some stuff we can't, and once it gets into our system, then it causes problems, so. Send out the public knows about it, we put our stuff on the website, but every once in a while, we do get some.
It seems like the leaves are falling earlier, right? Because
They're-
second
they're
pickup
doing,
is
we're much better than
Monday.
last year, as you know. We're already midway through the second zone. This weekend with 40-mile-an-hour winds should take all the rest of the leaves off. So we're hoping that our 5-week schedule, which is, as you know, Zone 1 gets picked up again, and then assuming the weather is, and I say this every year, assuming the weather holds out, we'll hit Zone 2 again also.
Mr. Chairman, there
Yeah.
was one more thing I'd like to add for
Oh,
the
please.
Public Works Committee. The way the patio, the pavers and the rock wall have been started, and the tree was scheduled to be, the Christmas tree was scheduled to be put in last week. The gazebo, which a constituent had asked me about, is in bad shape. So because due to the cost of it, it will be put probably into next year's budgeting and next year's planning for the Town Green Committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anything else on Public Works? All right, open space, Mr. Pocock?
Nothing other than, different areas all over.
Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger.
It was quite
They
popular.
were very
Quite
popular.
popular, yeah.
So that's historic run around town.
Sounds interesting.
It's good.
Ed and I will be in a car. Everyone else will be running around. But we're gonna be in a car.
That's about it for open space. We have a lot going, but it's all.
Okay, self-insurance.
So for
Mr. Benick, Mr. Bedoin.
So for self-insurance, we have claims through September, which is 3 months into our budget season, and we are $158,000 under budget, so we're in good shape. And it seems to be, the claims are coming in as we expect, so that's a good sign.
Okay, sounds good. I don't know about economic strike, if anything happened
No
there.
report.
Any other subcommittee or liaisons like investment, Board of Fire Commissioners, or any other committee anybody attended?
I didn't attend the fire
No,
commission.
No, just like.
Well,
not real
it's a pickup
small.
truck, but it's beautiful. If you
Yeah.
want to go look at it, it's beautiful. It's over at Station 1, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Very big.
Yeah.
It's a pickup truck.
And they're keeping track of the ladder truck, that.
Did we ever get our summary of the motor vehicle accidents?
Oh, I have not done that. That's on me. I will make
Just-
sure we.
Yeah, make sure it's just on the, just so we could know. In the past, what did we say, the past 6 months or 9 months, just to know what,
Just-
because we hear a lot, we don't
do a
know
year.
which truck or which accident it is. I think the board,
We have both police, fire, and some public works times we had. I think we had police and fire recently with the cruiser, and the fire had 2 incidents. So in the last 12 months, we'll do it.
I know we process the claims, but sometimes we, as a board, without the real data, we get confused as to what got damaged and.
And the only other thing I have for police is that they're doing.
Assistant Chief of what?
Fire.
Fire, okay.
Well, if I could just, Mr. Chairman, step back to Public Works.
I think they're all
We're good?
set, but yes, we part-time town employees as opposed to third party, which costs us more.
Good.
That was good.
Thanks.
Okay. Good. Any board communications, member communications?
We're working on that right now.
Okay.
But it's going to be very similar to last year with the dates, so we're going to be working on that probably Monday, I think.
That, do you think, is there any possibility? As dates may change then, but I'm just trying to think.
We're planning on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we can
Thank you.
discuss, instead of having it in a meeting, we can discuss it.
I'm just
ahead
trying to
of
think
time.
about blocking off dates for next year as soon as
It's a great,
possible.
it's a great,
And then I
comment.
had
We were gonna
questions.
get that.
I usually make some questions on behalf of the board to frame what the departments come forward, what they talk about. And I wrote those up. They're in an email somewhere. I just don't know if you have them. Amelia would have had them.
Yeah, and I probably have them in
You
mind.
can hunt them down, but it just gives them, so when each group comes before us, they have some framework of what to say. I think it was like,
There was an invitation from the chair.
tell the public what you do. I'm just trying to do them from
Programs
memory.
that you've done.
Any program you eliminated, any program you think you're going to add, anything you've done creative that you're proud of and you want to share with us or the town. Just, I forgot all of them, but
Yeah.
it just puts everybody in the same framework, so every department comes up and has pretty much the same agenda when they speak with us. Okay, any other board communications from anyone? Everything good?
Yep.
What?
We probably, for the sake of time, should get to the public communications.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, the public.
It was community.
Please don't put
I
that in
mean-
the minutes. All right, it's a really
That's
bad
okay.
joke.
It's already
It's not-
on
it's not-
TV.
But there was a time when the press
All right.
would be here
I know.
and 4 or 5 members of the public, either they just love us and trust us or they've given up on us, one or the other, so,
No,
I tend to think
John,
it's the first one.
okay.
in our case, you've been here long enough where they passed away.
Or someone passed away.
You've outlived them.
We have.
John Whitesell used to say that all the time. Got to outlive them.
But, yeah, we do miss our art seer and some of the people who used to come and share their thoughts. And we welcome more while we're on the camera, we welcome more people to come to our meetings, sit here with us, ask a question, engage in dialogue, tell us what you're thinking. We could become the new Southington Talks right here at the Board of Finance if people would come.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Pocock.
Streetlights. I had a couple of people that tell me that there's streetlights on it.
Yeah,
They can
we have,
call them into the
we have-
highway or
we have a
yourself.
program, if they want to go
Right.
on the website or just tell them, that says right there, what they do is they contact engineering, and engineering takes the pole number down from them, and then we submit it to Turi, who's our contractor, and if it's a light issue, Turi replaces it. If it's an electrical issue, we got to get in touch with Eversource.
I told them that they can call the highway department, but.
It's through engineering.
Yeah, it's through engineering.
Okay, while we're on public communications, if anybody wants to look at the agenda and put the agenda in, add something in here or put it in a different order, even Jim, because you're now in the saddle for a while, if you think there's something missing from the agenda and if there's a better way for us to provide governance, it's been a long time since we built this agenda, so give us your advice and anybody else on the board. It's the two roles of the chair, right? Signing the suspense account and setting the agenda, but I'm more than welcome to have input on the agenda. Yes,
Excuse me. I'd like to just say that I appreciate having the letters and things for the transfers and appropriations early in the package instead of at the end of the package. Since I'm on an iPad, it saves a lot of scrolling around.
okay, that's a good idea. We'll put the schedules,
like that.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
the
are
schedules
already-
towards the,
Yeah.
Where we do that now.
yeah.
Yeah,
We have it that way this time, and it's
I've seen you guys fumbling around the first couple of meetings that I've come looking for items, so that's the way I did it this month. Hopefully you like it. If not, let me know, and then we'll keep trying.
That's good. I remember a long time ago was Mr. Stanforth didn't want to put personal checks or personal names in, so when we get donations, we used to have copies of the checks, but for privacy, remember that years back, and he wanted those out. We just have now like a letter or notation. Like we see something in here from retired Beecher LaJoy gave money for the police department dog, and at least it doesn't show the check, which is our policy now.
Good policy.
Which is a good policy.
Which bank is he from? His account number is?
Okay, let's get into our administrative business. I want to take these, there's A to H. I want to take them all together. And just like once again, for the, about the 11th year, every meeting, the consent agenda is where money's received by the town. We already have the money, and all we're doing is appropriating it back to the line item that it was intended for. So, for example, if somebody gave us a $50 donation for, it's the first one on here, a $50 donation for our police department canine program, we got the money, and what we're going to do is we're going to put that money onto the line for our canine program supplies, and then they can buy the dog bones or whatever they're doing. But that's part of our job. So the consent agenda, money's already been received. When we get into the manager memos, they're asking us to think about it and make a more informed decision. This is just administrative business. So I'll read them, and then I'll ask for a motion, and then we'll vote on them. The first one's an appropriation for $50 for the canine program supplies, an appropriation $300 for Public Works drive-in theater donations. The third one is for $5,356 for the fire department extra duty wages. The next one is for $3,439 to the fire department for extra duty wages. The next one is an appropriation for $150 to the fire department for program supplies. The next is $2,500 town manager Rails to Trails donations. The next one is $243 Public Works streetlight equipment maintenance loss damage. And next one is $2,150 Public Works town aid road property maintenance. And then the next one is $11 to the library for program services. And then the last one is $250 to the Veterans Department for program services. Did we have a motion to approve those as presented?
Yeah, I'll make a motion
Second.
to.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor just signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, I'm going to say it carries 5-0. The next one is, these are now the manager memos where we have to, look at them, think about them. We have them in our packet to read. The next one is a transfer of $46,041 to the town attorney department for legal fees.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yep.
I'm sorry. If I may
All right.
to explain.
Hold on, we'll speak and then we'll do that. Go ahead, please.
Okay. After a long search, the town of Southington has hired a corporate counsel. I know that we've had in the budget for over a year now, and we're very happy to say, if I may, I'll announce at the council meeting on Monday, but you all saw it in I sent you the notice on that. This is really just transferring money in the line items so that we can have salary line items now, so that obviously we want to make sure the bookkeeping is correct. So the line itself, or the budget itself, doesn't change. I'm just moving some chairs around on the ship.
Okay.
Sue had a motion.
Sue?
I'll second.
Mrs. Oni made the motion, Mr. Lebenik second the motion. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstain. I'm going to call it 5-0. Next one, appropriation for $13,725, Public Works. This is the Park Department improvements, and we do a roll call vote on this because this comes from the ARPA money, the COVID money, that we applied to, just so everyone knows once again, the money we received for COVID, we didn't ask for. We got it appropriated, or, just based upon the size of our town, we got it given to us. And we read the parameters, and we put it to work for our capital projects, and we're able to save taxpayer dollars because we use, in essence, federal dollars. We save local taxpayer dollars, and we just want to keep track of that very carefully. So we're going to have a roll call vote on it, but it's $13,725 to Public Works for the rec park improvements. So-
Do you make a motion, right?
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the 13,725.
We got a motion,
Second?
second by Mr. Pocock, and we'll do a roll call vote on it.
Mrs. Zoni. Mr. Bedoin.
Yes.
Mr. Pocock.
Yes.
Mr. Lebenik.
Yes.
Chairman Leary.
Yes. 5-0. $100 the Calendar House for overtime.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion,
Second.
second by Mr. Bedoin. Okay, we got a second by Mr. Bedoin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain. So it's 4-1 abstention.
401, yeah.
Yeah, 4-0-1. Okay, but it passed. The next one is a transfer of $5,270 to the Barnes Museum temporary seasonal wages.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mrs. Zoni.
We'll give you the next one, Sue, for sure. We're going to pause. Here we go. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, here you go, Sue, for you. Transfer $9,554 to the Republican Town Committee. Only kidding. Only have a little fun. Let me
I would hope so.
let me back up. Item E, in all seriousness, $9,594 to the building department overtime,
Actually, both things.
Oh.
Take them together.
and $1,600 to the building department for overtime. They're two separate items.
So moved on that.
And seconded.
Yeah, motion by Mrs. Zoni, seconded by Mr. Pocock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. The next one's a transfer of $4,000, town clerk temporary seasonal wages.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
My only comment is this is actually coming out of contingency, not a transfer from the.
Yeah, that was the 4,000 we
This is
saw that
4,000
brought
stuff
it,
from the beginning.
brought us down to,
Right.
yep.
Correct.
And we know there's a lot going on there.
Yep.
And we got a lot of income to offset.
The most of any of our town departments, yes.
Okay, motion?
We already did.
We did
We did
it?
that,
Yeah.
We did it, okay, we did it. I gotta, all right, that was the discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0 carries. Next one's an appropriation, $60 to the police canine program supplies.
Second.
Motion and a second by Mr. Bedoin. Some discussion, any discussion?
That should have been up on consent, but the agenda was kind of set and these three items came in, so I just.
Yeah, I noticed that, so I thought it was mixed up with the 50 above. So we got
I
50,
I
that's a
just
lot
threw
of
'em-
bones.
I just threw them, yeah, exactly. So I just threw them into the manager's memos.
$110 worth of bones.
Yes.
Okay, canine program. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. All right, passes 5-0. Transfer. $3,270.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
5-0. Approved, passed. Next, last one, appropriation of $550 to the fire department for CPR program supplies.
So moved.
Can you correct that, please?
Oh, CRR, what's that?
Way to go,
Risk
Sue, way to
reduction.
go.
What?
Community risk
Risk
reduction
reduction.
program.
Okay. Oh,
Which they've been doing it.
Keep them honest, Sue.
This is
kept
where
me honest. She kept me honest.
This is a great program. Thank you for bringing it up. This is where we actually go into the houses and put in carbon monoxide
Oh, that's good.
and smoke detectors. It's actually
Yep.
a very good program.
It is.
It is.
Very good.
I think there a motion. I'll second.
I made them.
Yeah, I'll second.
Yeah, we made a correction, the CRR program. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? And once again, for the public, if anybody needs their smoke alarms checked, or they want an inspection of their house, or they don't have smoke alarms, and they want them free of charge, the fire department does that. I'm glad I messed it up. That way we got to explain it. Okay, it's all good. Sometimes things happen for a reason.
That's true.
We're going to talk about the transfers, year-to-date transfers.
Well,
This is actually a new, Jim and I
Yeah.
talked about this.
Yeah.
This is a program we probably should have done from an administrative standpoint before. About 4 years ago, we had a charter, maybe more than that now, 5 years ago, we had a charter revision where the manager is allowed to transfer no more than $1,000 from one line to the other. Part of that also is that at each succeeding meeting of the Board of Finance, we give you notification of it. Now it's when we're formalizing that part of it. So once again, new eyes, puts us on the track where we should have been. So this is just for your edification. You don't need to vote on it. It's just a matter of to make sure that you understand what I'm doing offline during the month for your meeting.
yeah, this is a way for the town manager to communicate to the board. And if it's and if there's no changes, this will be in your packet every month. There will be no 1B, 1C, or 2A, 2B, whatever. But if there's something next week, it'll be on your agenda. This way, that's his informing you, living up to that charter provision. And it's also, frankly, a vehicle that we use in the finance office, because frankly, I was balancing some of the actions of the board. I was off this $250. And why? Because it wasn't in your minutes. So having everything in one nice little concise packet, frankly, helps, even if it is small dollar amounts.
But everything will still be disclosed in the packet.
Correct.
The packet becomes the official,
Correct.
because that becomes the official advice to council
Correct.
when they act on our minutes. Okay,
Jim, you just said
205.
208-3
It-
says 205.
It is 205.
okay, looks like we're done. So look, the calendar for the budget will come out. We'll circulate it on email and kind of approve it there. Once we think we have consensus, we'll come back in here and formally approve it.
And then also, at your December meeting, did we do the next year's meeting?
That'll be included as
Okay.
well. The
We'll also do
the
your
regular
calendar for
calendar
next year.
posting with the clerk's office. I'll get a draft out to you of those as well. That's an
Okay.
easy one because it's,
And the last thing, Mr. Chairman, as I said, when it comes to strategy and where we're going in the future, I always talk about the state. I don't think much has changed. Obviously,
Yeah.
the election didn't change very much. We still have the same governor. We still, for the most part, we'll find out, obviously, on Monday. We are going to have a new rep, 81st rep, no matter what happens, but we'll find out who
Yeah.
that person is on Monday.
All right.
I don't foresee a lot of major changes from the state funding to the town. I'm not hearing a lot. It's right now, say what you wish. I'll use their terminology. They're flush with cash, so I don't think they're going to be cutting aid to municipalities, but I don't expect a large increase either.
Right. Okay, I'll seek our favorite motion, and the time right now is 7:37.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Take
thank
care.
you, folks.
Sue.
Thank you.
So.
For setting up the phone for us.
That's
Thank
Mark.
you, bye.
Mark set it all up for you.
Modern technology.